It's the event of the year, the 2022 Taste of Black Charleston, Friday, March 11th at the Ladson Exchange Park. Join us for a variety of chefs, caterers, and restaurateurs from across the area as they compete to be the best of the region. Featuring America's Got Talent singer Ray Singleton and celebrity chef Carlos Brown. It's the Taste of Black Charleston. Good friends, great food, and a grand time. For more information or to purchase tickets, visit blackexposouth.com.
It's time for a little comedy, a little content, and a lot of conversation. It's the Geno Jones Show, exclusively right here on YouTube. Now here's your host, Geno Jones.
Hello, what's happening, everybody? Good afternoon, good evening, good morning. Luther said hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Hello, how are you? It is showtime. Geno Jones Showtime. I come to you live Monday through Friday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern. So if you're here in the Carolinas, South Carolina metro area, or it could be maybe up in New York, D.C., down to Miami on the East Coast, 5:30 in Chicago, chilly Chicago. I hear it's chilly. It's still February. It's supposed to be cold in Chicago in February, right? If you're up in the Midwest, Chicago, Detroit, Milwaukee, Minneapolis, 3:30 p.m. out on the West Coast. I don't know what it is. It was hot, a couple of weeks ago? It was in the 80s. It's crazy. But, LA, you can get that. Hawaii it's always nice in Hawaii. Please subscribe to the Geno Jones channel. Please like and share, as they say. Subscribe. Tell everybody that you know, that you don't know, that you like, you love, you kind of like, really can't stand, hate strangers. Tell them all. Man, simply the best, the baddest, and the best. Tina Turner had a song, Simply the Best. It's right here, the Geno Jones Show. And you can go back and binge watch all my fabulous episodes. The Geno Jones Show is brought to you by the 2022 Charleston Black Expo and the Taste of Black Charleston. As a matter of fact, you just saw the commercial. You guys can bring me back on camera, please. Thank you. You just saw the commercial for the for the Taste of Black Charleston. That's going to be on Friday night, March 11th, and then Saturday, March 12th, the Charleston Black Expo for 2022. It's going to be at the Charleston Area Convention Center. That's about a mile from the Charleston International Airport. So it's going to be warmer than it is going to be in Chicago. I'm certain of that. Or up in the Midwest, or up in New York or Boston. So come on, fly on down, hang out for the weekend. The Taste of Black Charleston. It is the event of the year. Great food, vendors, and chefs, caterers, and then, of course, the 2022 Black Expo, educational seminars. We got some celebrities. Anthony Anderson is going to be the keynote speaker, and just some other great guests. Kiara Sheard, all you gospel fans, and a lot more. So, as a matter of fact, we have a weekly update. So we'll have our rep from the Black Expo. She will be in Jocelyn, and she'll give you an update probably tomorrow, if not Friday. So let's jump right into the show. Today, 2 years ago today, was really, really sad. It was a sad occasion. Even though we didn't find out about what happened 2 years ago today until almost 3 months later, 2.5, 3 months later. A young man, 25-year-old young man named Ahmaud Arbery, a little small town, Brunswick, Georgia. He was just out jogging. He had three white men in a pickup truck. Just assumed that because he was a black man, a young black man, that he was a criminal. And that they wanted to take the law in their own hands, deputize themselves, and stop this man. And they murdered him. They were found guilty, in a state trial of murder. The shooter, the father and the son. So the son was the shooter. The father was driving the pickup truck. They were charged with murder, life without the possibility of parole. And then the third man, who was in the trail pickup truck, who was the videographer, filmmaker. So I guess he thought he was Martin Scorsese or somebody. I don't know what the heck this dude was. William Roddy Bryant. He was also charged with murder, so he got life with a possibility. So yesterday, there was a verdict in the federal hate crime trial All three men were convicted, found guilty of murdering Ahmaud Arbery because of his race. So, not justice, because justice would have meant that Ahmaud Arbery would be 27 instead of being dead 2 years ago. So shout out to his mom. Oh, by the way, his mom announced that she's going to launch a scholarship. His high school, Brunswick High School, and that's like I said, a little small town in Georgia. So she is going to be giving away a scholarship or scholarships every year to high school students to help them with college, with their college tuition or just all their college expenses in the name of her son, Ahmaud Arbery. So Ahmaud, my brother, rest in peace, power, peace, power, paradise. Rest in peace, my brother. Gone way too soon. So let me segue here. Ladies and gentlemen, I am going to bring my guest on. She is a repeat guest. She was returning to the Geno Jones Show. She is in the middle of a campaign. She is running to be the first African-American woman to be a United States Senator from the state of South Carolina. Now, she'll correct me because she's not really running for that, but when she wins, and I'm speaking it into existence, when she wins, she will be making history. That's not her goal, as she said before, and she'll tell you again, but she will be making history as the first African-American woman to be a United States Senator here in South Carolina. She is currently South Carolina State Representative from District 117, and she is running to unseat the incumbent, one of the two incumbent U.S. Senators, Mr. Tim Scott. Enough said on that. Springer on camera. Ladies and gentlemen, welcoming back to the show. Always very, very busy, but talented, beautiful and talented sister inside and out. South Carolina State Representative, my dear friend, Krystle Matthews. Representative Matthews, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Geno. So good to see you.
Good to see you. Or maybe I should say good evening. I can see in your shot, it looks more like evening. Evening than afternoon.
The sun is going down. Evening.
So first of all, listen, I want to give you a shout out. Got a chance to hear you on the Joe Madison Show. It's a nationally syndicated radio show on Sirius XM satellite radio. Very popular. Joe Madison is an icon in talk radio. He's in the Radio Hall of Fame. So anyway, I got a chance to hear you on his show yesterday. Listen, I'm just saying there are a lot of folks that could take messaging lessons from this campaign right here. So I said, you know what? I think it is time for me to bring my friend on so she can give us an update on the campaign. So let's just jump right in here. Because I heard you guys talking about the incumbent that you're running against Mr. Scott.
Yes.
His campaign, and there are always going to be questions and doubters and haters, and I'm sure you get a lot of this. It's like, well, Tim Scott, he's an incumbent, and incumbents rarely lose. He's got name recognition. He's talking about he wouldn't mind being the Orange Dude's vice presidential running mate. There's talk that he may, if the Orange Dude doesn't run for president, he might run for president. That his campaign has a lot of money. Blah 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 blah. So I want to ask you, well, you can answer all these people who ask these questions. Why are you a viable candidate, not just to run, but to win the U.S. Senate seat here in the state of South Carolina?
Well, thank you, Geno, for the shout out, and definitely thank you for the shout out on Madison. But I'm a viable candidate because I have already flipped his seat twice that he held in the state house, and now I'm prepared to do it again. People are tired of politicians that are only in action, and their work doesn't speak for them. So one of the things that I am very good at doing is plainly narrating my position on issues and how I relate to the working people. Tim Scott, as I said, he has no children. He has no wife. The number of people who don't know that, Geno, was crazy. My inbox went bananas after that. Like, they didn't know that he didn't have a family. It's like, he'll put all these posts up about what he knows about being a single parent. Sorry, sir. No, your mother knows you don't know anything because you are not a parent and you're definitely not a single parent. So, when we talk about him being poor and somebody did the article about his grandfather having 900 acres, I'm sorry. I don't even know how that equates to poor. So, I'm a viable candidate because I'm willing to tell the truth no matter what. I'm also a viable candidate because people can relate to me. This state has more women than men by 100,000. And I'm also in the majority of the 70% that are working families here in South Carolina. As a mother of five, I understand the needs in education. And I understand the needs when we talk about our roads and our bridges. Not all this performatory politics where we still have to run into all these potholes and there's no priority list and we can't get anything fixed. You know what I'm talking about, Geno?
Yes.
It's that everyday Dodge car situation that we're doing with these torn up roads that we have because we've been growing economically, but we haven't been taking care of our infrastructure. So as a woman, I'm looking to bring balance. Balance is what women do well. We balance our families, our friends, our children, our jobs. And so we need balance in the U.S. now more than ever.
I agree, and I'll co-sign on the balance because I grew up in a house full of women as a child and as an adult, so I can definitely relate to that. So I want to piggyback on something that I heard you mention yesterday. I didn't know the racial and demographic breakdown of your district. I did not realize your district is, if I'm correct me, majority Republican.
Uh-huh.
And I didn't realize that Tim Scott he served in that district. I did not realize that.
Yeah, so he actually used to hold the seat. It is majority Republican, it's majority white. And, honestly, they don't care. They just want somebody who's going to help them when they call. They want somebody who's going to respond to their needs, answer their questions. And beyond that, that's what most of us really want, right? We want elected officials who are responsive to our needs. And that is what I have done for District 117. And that's why I continue to get elected there.
So I'm sure you got this question. As a matter of fact, I remember asking before, and I always like to give you an opportunity to share this because I'm sure one of the first questions, let's just say if we were out in your district or my district and we were to go to a barber shop or hair salon or nail salon or maybe go to a mall or a supermarket and you were introducing yourself to people and they will say, well, Representative Matthews, why are you running to be the United States Senator here in South Carolina? And if you are elected to the U.S. Senate, how will you be able to make my life and my family's life better? Any specific policies that you really want advanced? Maybe there's some legislation that's still sitting around in the Senate that hasn't been either brought up or that hadn't been signed that you really feel passionate about, that you want to make sure that you would do everything in your power as a senator to get those pieces of legislation signed.
Yeah, the first thing I want to do, Geno, is fight for voting rights. I mean, we can't act like the world is not on fire. Voting rights is the one place where we are all equal and we all have an equal say in what is going on. And the fact that it's not priority or has not been priority in the Senate thus far, for me, I think it's a disaster. It's going to really, really hurt us. It already has, actually. And I believe it will continue to if we don't address it as quickly as possible. Another thing I am very passionate about is credit scoring reform. Most working families, we use credit for everything in this country. The way it's calculated, however, I think is a fallacy. I shouldn't have to go get debt to get debt. And, it's almost like, honestly, it's like college, right?
Yes.
So you take out student loans so that you can get a degree to get a job that pays you enough to pay back your student loans. It doesn't make sense. So we've got to start doing things that make sense. Livable wages, making sure we understand what that means on more than just a money front, right? We're not just talking money, but we're talking about housing. We're talking about what jobs pay. I talked briefly about this yesterday. A job will require you to have a master's degree, but want to start you off at $15 an hour.
Yeah, make that
At
make
that rate,
sense.
you can't even pay back your student loans at that rate.
Right. Make that
You're
make
still
sense.
underwater.
And
Exactly.
I was real passionate about the child tax credit that wasn't extended, unfortunately, because
Hmm.
I know for a fact people in my own family, literally, families were taken out of poverty like overnight, and that money ran out at the end of mid-December. If elected to the U.S. Senate, would you vote to bring those checks, those child tax credits back? And as a single mom, I'm sure, even though I'm sure you didn't qualify for them, but you could understand being you said a mom of a single mother of 5. My God,
Hmm.
I need to call you Superwoman. You should have a cape on the back with a
That part.
S on your chest. How do you feel about the child tax
Yeah.
credits?
So I'm definitely advocating for programs that help out parents, that help out single mothers, as I am myself. We don't do enough in this country to make sure that we're helping those who have less than. I always tell people, check your privilege at the door, because the fact that people were so gung ho to end this money, like you said, that dragged so many people out of the gutter, just being able to take a deep breath and say,
Yes.
I have enough to cover my needs for once, where I'm not working myself into the ground. Um, that just shows you how privileged those people that we represent us are. They don't really understand how big that is. And for me, like when I first got elected, our salary is not very much money. It's $10,400, but minus
Wow.
what they take for health care and all that, it
Jeez.
comes out of that, right? So you end up with, maybe, depending on what you choose as your plan, maybe 6 or 7 thousand or whatever.
A year?
There, yeah, there were people. Yes, a year, per year.
Wow. In the to be
There were
to be in
there were
in
folks.
to be in the
Go ahead.
South Carolina. I didn't mean to interrupt. I'm processing this,
Yes,
and I'm sure my viewers are saying, "Wait a minute, did she say here you are
yes.
a state representative in a major
Hmm.
state? 10,000,
We have
but
one of the lowest salaries in the United States, Gino. We
wow,
tried to raise it, but Republicans won't raise it because they're so afraid their people will say, "Oh, well, you guys are just trying to make more money." We have one of the lowest, if not the lowest, in the U.S. And what that does is, I don't care what people have to say. It keeps working people out because we can't afford to take off from jobs. Our jobs are typically not the type that will give you time off, number one. And number two, you can't afford to serve full time because it's not enough to live on. So you keep us out of the loop. And that for me is a problem. I don't care what people say about me concerning this subject. I will keep fighting to make sure that we are raising things so that working families, working people can have a voice in what is going on to determine how they will live and the quality of their lives.
and
But what I was,
no,
go
go
ahead.
finish your thought because I want to go back to that 10,000 number because I heard you mention something yesterday that I think a lot of people, including the host
Yeah,
of that show, was shocked when you
yeah.
talked about how much it costs to even attempt to run for an
Yeah,
office like the United States
it's
Senate.
so it's a little over 10,000 to even run for the United States Senate. You have the filing fee. We have the largest filing fee out of all the ones in the state. Even the governor's filing fee is not as much as ours. Everybody else's is like 3,000 maybe. When you run for a House member, it's $208. But when you run for the U.S. Senate, it's like $10,000 to even file to be on the ballot. Period. At all.
Wow. Mm.
Yeah. But what I was going to say was, when we got our first salary checks, there were colleagues of mine donating theirs to charity and doing all this stuff for the news. And here I am, relieved that I can just pay my daycare,
No.
without having to wonder where it's coming from next week.
Oh my
And
God.
and I was like, whew, I was behind. I can catch up, but that just shows you the privilege that the people who make the laws that we live by, they serve and they live in this privilege. And so when things don't make sense, it's because real people aren't in these seats.
And
Real people aren't in these
no.
seats. We don't have no Asians or Hispanics. I mean, are there people that may have some of this mixed in? Yes, but not as a whole. our state house is not very diverse.
And you talked about working people, people who are like really, really working people, like you and myself. And I want to piggyback on that. Last thing I want to mention, and I know we talked about it off camera. The amount of I don't know what the turnout. I think we had a pretty high turnout, especially among African Americans in 2020. But I don't think we've ever had an election where the turnout for the black turnout was over, I would say, 60%. So, but and now 60% is probably like a record. That was probably like when President Obama ran. But even if that's considered a high turnout, that means 40% of the eligible black voters didn't even show up. So, and we say, oh,
yeah, but I think some of them have walked away from the table, right? I mean, look at the span of politics over the last few years, even in the last 6 years. It's been very disconcerting.
Yes.
It's not anything anybody wants to be involved in. And then when you talk about people around my age, the 40-ish middle-aged demographic, we're not included in anything. It's always the older folks or the younger folks, but we're not really in anybody's catch tent, right? So when people are appointed to office by these presidents, everybody wants young adults until it's time to actually use young adults. And my experience and my life experience speaks for me. And so I feel like we have to start appointing middle-aged folks to these lifelong positions, right? Why do you have to be 60 or older to be appointed to anything? Like, that's ridiculous. We have the education, we have the intelligence, the wisdom, but that's also what having a village around you means, right?
Yes.
Nobody knows it all. Even if they're older, that doesn't mean they know more than we know. That just means they're aged more than we're aged. And so I'm bringing back those people to the table. I'm fighting to make sure that we have a voice and make sure that they understand we don't have to wait for people to give us permission. We need to make sure we put our feet in water.
And it's not just it's not the registered voters that don't turn out. It's the unregistered voters. I know we talked about. I don't know what the number is. The last time I heard,
it's a little over 200,000.
Okay, I knew it was in the hundreds of thousands of just eligible but unregistered voters here in the state of South Carolina. I think people of color. So just imagine if you could register 100,000 of the people that didn't register, and if somehow you could increase the turnout among those who have registered and bump that turnout 10%, 15, 20%. What happened is, because we have the numbers, you have the African American population here in South Carolina. I think percentage-wise is close to 30% of the state African American. You have a rising Hispanic population, along with your anti-racist white voters. What happened in Georgia? I've been singing this song. I know you and I have had this conversation. What happened in Georgia in 2020 in the United States Senate, where you got Senator Ossoff and Senator Warnock, could happen right here in South Carolina.
It sure could. The first thing you got to do is believe that it can happen. I told somebody titles don't mean much to me. I'm running to help people. So if I lose, okay, fine, they didn't choose me to help them, but I'm not up in arms. I'm here to add to your life, not take away. There's nothing for me to gain. Tim Scott is an opportunist. He knows exactly what he's doing by pandering to folks that don't look like him, because they don't know what standard to hold him to. They don't know any real questions to ask him about how he does or does not support the Black community. He will never come to the table and answer our questions. I look forward to debating him after the primary, because I want to make sure that he answers the questions that we have. I want to make sure that he can't hide behind that cloak of whiteness that he's been hiding behind. It's time out for all that. He's just using this as a stepping stone. I don't have any doubt in my mind that he really wants to run for president. That's why his war chest looks like it does. Nobody needs that much to run a statewide race. So you can't convince me that he doesn't have other aspirations and that this is not just a stepping stone for him. And as long as he plays step and fetch, there will be some that like him. But there are a lot of folks that are not with the Trump ignorance. And so I do believe that he is going to lose those voters. I believe in the right to personal protection as far as gun rights go. I am an owner myself, but I believe it comes with responsibilities, right? I also, CRT, somebody asked me what I think about CRT. I said, it's not being taught. Now, I don't know what you want me to say about how I think about it when it's not being taught. The author of the bill is not against teaching slavery. So people have taken their own narrative now and added it to the mix. When it comes to abortion, very simple for me. I trust women, period. Women have been given birth for centuries all on their own. I trust women. I trust women, period. Education, listen to these teachers. All this top-down delegating, that's what's wrong with us. We're top-heavy when it comes to education. We have far too many people that are far away from the classroom making classroom decisions. That is a problem. And of course, the she's a socialist and she's a this. Actually, I believe in a mixed economy. I believe in a mixed system. There is not a country in this world that exists 100% of either, whether it's socialism or capitalism. You know why? Back to my point about having a woman. Everything requires balance. Everything. Even the economy. It requires balance. And so that's why I am running, because I want to make sure that folks understand the truth and what they're hearing and what they're seeing lines up.
I dropped the mic right there. Where can people go to learn more about your campaign? And more important, where can people go and donate money? So those who are worried about, well, Tim Scott's got a lot of money. Does she have enough money? Well, if you want to make sure she got enough money to get that big war chest, you can contribute to that war chest by making a donation. So give everybody the information they need where they can support the campaign and learn more about your campaign.
You can go to MatthewsForSenate.com, Matthews with 2 T's, or you can find me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter at Matthews for Senate. You can also mail a check if you so inclined to mail a check or money order to P.O. Box 555, Latson, South Carolina, 29456. And if that doesn't work and you're really just lost on what to do, find me on one of these platforms, inbox me, my team will respond and help you get your donation in. Thank you so much, Geno.
No, and thank you. And on your way out the door, Representative Matthews. So I am volunteering to offer my platform. I will moderate one of your debates, and we get through the primaries. One of your debates with Senator Scott. Come right here. Have the debate, no holds barred. Mr. Scott, we'd love to have you. You can state your case and let Representative Matthews state her case, and we'll see where the chips fall. So I'd love, so at least I know you're going to have several platforms, but you have a home. So I
appreciate it so much.
Yeah. And I would love to have that debate, because I do have a few questions.
Know you would.
Yeah. I really would.
You would.
I would. Thank you.
And honestly, I'm not hung up on what party people are with. The fact that he's Republican and he's black, so, okay, whatever, right? My thing is, when you start forsaking your own people, when you start not representing the whole, he is in a statewide office. I represent a district currently, a district full of different kinds of people. I can't just represent my people. I have to represent all the people in my district. Tim Scott represents the entire state, yet he only talks to one demographic of voters. And that, for me, is my issue.
Drop the mic right there. South Carolina State Representative Krystle Matthews. Thank you, Representative Matthews. We'll see you soon. We'll be keeping an eye on you. Have a good evening.
Thank you so much. You too. Bye, Geno.
Thank you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I told you, sister, she's brilliant, bright. She is a formidable candidate. So support her. All right. She gave you all the information. You can go to her website, learn more about her campaign, and more important, you can support her financially. So she'll have the financial. She will have the finances and the money to run this campaign that a lot of people seem to be so worried about. Well, is she viable? Yeah. You know what? You know what's going to make her viable, even more so than money, is if people turn out. If you register to vote, if you get people who don't even believe in voting, if you get them to register and turn out, folks who are registered but who just say, they all the same. Well, no, they all are not the same, which is why I'm so impressed with Representative Matthews. So you got to see and hear for yourself that she's not in this for her. She is running to be a United States Senator because she's in it for the people, all the people of the state of South Carolina. Thank you for letting me be a part of your life. As always, God bless each and every one of you. God, most of all, thank you for letting me do the Geno Jones Show. Please subscribe to the Geno Jones channel. Please like and share this and every episode. Shout out to Mr. Markel Bailey, the official barber and hairstylist for the Geno Jones Show. You can check him out on Instagram, Kelby Cutting Up, KELBECUTTINUP. Allie Jones and Bruce Gage, the official wardrobe consultants and stylists for the Geno Jones Show. Allie Jones is on Instagram. Check out her Instagram page. It is fire. Is just up and coming, brilliant, superstar designer, and she's already like a legendary fashion model. She was even as a teenager. She was like a prodigy, child prodigy, but she is a true designer in every sense. And you can check out her line on her Instagram page. It's Lexi with 2 X's, LEXXIE _ that line below it, they call that an underscore. Lexi with 2 X's _ Nicole Designs. And Bruce Gage is on Instagram. Go to his Instagram page. You can make it easy. Search Bruce Gage, Gage on Instagram. His Instagram page is actually Miglio di Mario Uomo. Now that's an Italian word, Miglio. So that's MIGLIODIMARIOUOMO. I know. So there you go. But you can just search Bruce Gage on Instagram. The Geno Jones Show this week is brought to you by the 2022 Charleston Black Expo. Go to blackexposouth.com to order your tickets. And Friday night, the night before the expo, that's going to be Friday night, March 11th, the Taste of Black Charleston. As a matter of fact, I'm going to close the show. You'll get a chance to just see what the Taste of Black Charleston looks like. You got some of the top chefs and vendors, not just here in the state, but in the country. Oh, the food is fabulous. The MC and the host is fabulous too. The king of MCs, that would be me. Music is just a night to remember. It is truly a night to remember. It is the event of the year. And then Saturday on March 12th, it's the 2022 Charleston Black Expo. So you got educational seminars. You have our guest keynote speaker, celebrity speaker, Anthony Anderson from Blackish, and also special gospel performance, Kiara Sheard. It's going to be like a Southern Soul R&B concert with my man Roy Chip Anthony, and we'll have some more information for you because Jocelyn from the Black Expo USA, she is going to be here. So remember, blackexposouth.com. You can get tickets. You can go order your tickets for the expo or the Taste of Black Charleston. All right. I love each and every one of you. Mother, I love you more than life. I know you're watching. Yep, there's my mom. And hello, Michelle Michael. Yeah, there you go. I appreciate everybody watching the show. And thank you, Mother. My mom's always, my mom's like my executive producer. There in Chicago, up there in Chicago. So I want to thank everybody for watching. I apologize with the technical, still having a few technical issues. We're growing. We're working on that. I know the enemy's busy. He always trying to throw salt in the game, but you can't stop greatness, baby. And this train is gone. It is out the station like the red line in Chicago. It has left the station. We are gone. We started off on 95th Street, but we are almost at Howard Street. So the old Dan Ryan, the red line, the express is on its way. One final thing before I get out of here. Oh, tomorrow, the next live edition of the Geno Jones Show is going to be Thursday, 6:30 p.m. Once again, thank each and every one of you, and you. On a Working Divas Wednesday, my Working Diva today, once again, I want to thank South Carolina State Representative Krystle Matthews. Our next and first African-American woman is going to be the United States Senator in the U.S. Senate. And God knows President Biden needs her help. All right? One of 7 black people, qualified, brilliant, talented black men and women who are running to be in the United States Senate. So we won't have to worry about Senator Joe Manchin and Senator Sinema. Y'all going to do what you're going to do anyway. We got this. All right. One more thing. On my way out the door, as always, I like to say, be blessed and thank you for watching. Have a good evening.
It's the event of the year, the 2022 Taste of Black Charleston, Friday, March 11th at the Ladson Exchange Park. Join us for a variety of chefs, caterers, and restaurateurs from across the area as they compete to be the best of the region. Featuring America's Got Talent singer Ray Singleton and celebrity chef Carlos Brown. It's the Taste of Black Charleston. Good friends, great food, and a grand time. For more information or to purchase tickets, visit blackexposouth.com.
Subscribe and tune in to the next episode of The Geno Jones Show, exclusively right here on YouTube.